Good morning. I hope everybody's having a great day. It is bright and sunny, and from what I've heard, it's hot outside, but I don't go outside, so there's that. Um, so I have been thinking this morning about following directions and doing what you're told, and all those other things that sometimes just feel icky, right? So I post a lot of information talking about how to do this, how to do that, what you should be doing. And I just want to say that you are absolutely welcome to follow it or not follow it. And I want to make sure that if you're not following it, that it's not, well, she's stupid and I don't care what she says, because you're going to feel that about something at some point in your life, right? If you're not following some of the things that I'm telling you to do, I want it to be from, that doesn't feel right for me. And I know we get advice on tons and tons and tons of stuff. You can look anywhere for advice on anything. And you're, like I said, you're absolutely welcome to follow that advice or to not follow that advice. But it's completely up to you to judge whether that advice is something right for you to follow or if it's just not right for you. So here's what I mean. Um, I was talking with a client recently, and she said that she felt like I give so much structure that it was overwhelming to her. And I kind of stepped back and thought about that. And um, yeah, I do give a lot of structure, but it's for some people who need structure. And again, it's completely up to you whether you're following that structure or you're just reading it and going, okay, I see where she's going. That doesn't feel right for me. And you do this with everything in your life. You do it every day, all the time. I just was thinking back to like when I was a new parent, and there I was with my newborn baby, and I was, God, what was I, like 32, 33, around in there. And that seems like an age where you should kind of have a vague idea of how to keep another human alive, but maybe you don't. And every single person I ran into had some sort of advice, frequently unsolicited. Oh, do this, try this, make sure you're doing this. You're not doing that, are you? Um, oh, you're not putting her in a carrier. Oh, you're not putting her in a bouncer, are you? Oh, you make sure that when you put her down to nap, you have a video monitor on her at all times. All these things that when you hear all this noise all the time, it gets overwhelming. And sometimes, it might not be like this with a baby, for example, but sometimes when you get tons of advice on something, it makes you just go, you know what? I don't want anything to do with this anymore. Um, so if you're listening to me talking about your book and you're like, man, her stuff doesn't really resonate, acknowledge that. Say, you know what? This isn't right for me. Don't watch the videos, leave the group, whatever you have to do. So it's probably because I'm hungry right now, but I had this really funny analogy pop into my head um, when I was getting ready to do this video. And it was from way back when I used to work at the Dairy Queen in college. I would go home for the summer and work at the local Dairy Queen. And it was loads of fun, and everything smelled like ice cream. So that's always, a wonderful thing to do. Um, but I was helping out in the kitchen the one day, one of the people who are usually in the kitchen was showing me what to put on. I think it was called an ultimate burger. So I had to know what goes on an ultimate burger to be able to help out in the kitchen that day. And she was telling me, you have to put it on in this order. You put the burger down, you put the cheese on, you put the lettuce on, the tomato, then the bacon, and then on the top of the bun you put the ketchup and mustard or whatever ultimate sauce. It might have been ultimate sauce. And I'm like, oh, okay. Why does it have to go on in that order? Because if you've ever done a DISC assessment, a lot of people do these for businesses. Um, DISC are the 4 different personality types in that assessment, and I happen to be the S type, which is stable, which means I will ask tons and tons and tons of questions before I commit to something, make a decision, fully understand things, will approach you with my thoughts on it. I need to ask tons of questions, and that does drive people crazy sometimes, but if you're another S like me, you probably get it. So of course I look at her and say, well, why does it have to go on in that order? And she just kind of looked at me for a second, like no one had ever asked her that. And she said, well, if you don't do that, they can't taste the bacon. And I'm like, but it all is going into the same place, right? So you take a bite, there's the burger, the cheese, the lettuce, the tomato, the bacon, everything. If you've got it all in there, then does it matter how it gets in there? And that's how my brain works. That's where that analogy came from. If you end up with a book at the end and it's a good quality book and you have everything in there that you want to give to your audience, it doesn't really matter how it gets in there. If you're following your timeline, if you're staying on track, you're staying focused, you're reaching your goal, and you come out with the best book you possibly can, no, it really doesn't matter. Everyone's going to taste the bacon no matter where it is, right? Everyone's going to know that it's in there. All the good stuff's in there, right? So if you're trying to follow directions on how to assemble this book and you're just like, my outline is maddening. I have so much stuff in here that it is, losing me. I can't possibly sit down and follow this outline from A to Z. It's not working for me. Then it's time to reassess if you really need that much structure. So think about that the next time you sit down. Do you need that much structure? Do you need more structure? Maybe you're somebody who needs a lot more structure. Maybe this like loose, free-flowing kind of writing doesn't work for you. Then that's something you need to look at. You have to look at what's going to work for you and get you through the process so you have the best book you could possibly write without spending tons and tons of time on it. And if you're thinking about writing a book, if you're getting caught up in this process, I want to invite you to a free clarity call because I want to help you get through this. I love helping my people in Brilliant Business Book Intensive, my Brilliant Business Book VIPs. I love helping them get through their books. And we've cranked out a lot of books this year. It's been just amazing, especially with everything going on, because book writing is something you can do in the comfort of your own home with a glass of wine and wearing your PJs, right? And it's something that you can give someone that, it can boost your sales. You can use it when you're at home. You can use it when you're on the stage. You can use it anywhere in your business at any time. It's great for summer, which is coming up. I guess we're in the middle of summer. Are we at the beginning of summer? I don't know. It's June, the beginning of June. I always think school lets out, it's summer. Here it is summer, and you can have a book going out, making sales for you, working for your business without you even having to touch it. So if you'd like to talk to me about your book, your dreams of getting out there with your story, please comment on this video or reach out to me on my website. I have a contact page, CoreyWamsley.com, because I'd love to help you get through this book. So think about that. Think about your structure. Think about how flexible it is, if it works for you, and if you need some help. Have a good day, and I will see you later this week.